Hello and welcome everybody to another Edge of Eternities draft video. I'm Paul Cheon and today we are sitting at rank number 878. That's right, we have a lot of work to do. We've been very busy playing a bunch of sealed decks and really haven't had the opportunity to get in too many drafts. So I'm ready to lock in and continue cracking away at this triple-digit ranking and get to the double digits. That will be my goal over the next couple of weeks. Now, before we hop into this draft, just wanted to say that this video is brought to you by TCGplayer.com. Go to TCGplayer.com for all your Match the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. If you want to buy some booster boxes of Edge of Eternities, or you wanted some singles to round out your constructed decks, check out TCGplayer.com. Make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Also, make sure you check out heavyplay.com for premium Match the Gathering supplies and accessories. If you want top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, live pads, and more, go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. You know, I actually did get a trophy, but I was getting my house painted, or some small parts of my house painted. So, again, I done exactly 2 drafts off-stream, and both of them resulted in trophies, which is a little sad. But you know what? Maybe we can still do well in this draft. Alrighty, what do we have? That is a strip mine, which, you know, is okay, but I don't really think it's, like, super strong. I mean, sure, there's a world where the strip mine can be really good, but it's a colorless land. I don't really love it too much. Loading zone, I think, is just like a not the strongest build around. Actually, all these uncommons are all relatively weak as well. So, at, common, we have both Focus Fire and Grav Kill. And I generally prefer the Grav Kill just because it's unconditional and I think it's just a lot more splashable. So I think I'm going to take it. But will note that if I do end up in an aggressive white shell, the Focus Fire can certainly be a better card. Alright, what do you do? 7 mana, choose odd or even, destroy each creature with mana value of the chosen quality, then gain control of all creatures until end of turn, untap them. Alright, I don't even care if this card, if it's wrong, I have to take Mutinous Massacre. It is simply just not, I don't have a choice. This card is far too sweet. I mean, Terror Pact Intimidator and Dauntless Scrampbot are both great. Honestly, if I wanted to take the quote-unquote safe pick, I could take the Dauntless Scrapbot, because that would just guarantee a very solid card in my deck that's always going to be good. The Terror Pact Intimidator is a really solid 2-mana play. But let's take Mutinous Massacre here and see if we can get the appropriate mana fixing to make this card work in this deck. All right, pack 1, pick 3. This is an extremely weak pack. And this is, something that I alluded to before, where I was just like, look at this pack. Look at my commons. There's 9 commons in here, and I don't want any of them. That's bad. I suppose I'll take all Fate Scroll. It mana fixes me. If I do end up playing a bunch of different colors, it can be okay, and there's just nothing at common that I care for here. I mean, Fungal Colossus would be the other consideration, but I feel like the All Fate Scroll has a little bit more upside. Not to say that I think the card is fantastic by any means, but just going to take it here. Pack 1, pick 4. I do love Melded Moxide. I think the card is fantastic, and I'm gonna see if I can try to be in black-red somehow. Now, Lashwood Predator is a fine, good blocker. Ice Cape Crasher is an okay attacker. But again, 5 of the other commons are not so good. Volkard Trooper is just okay as well, but I do think the Melded Moxide is generally better to start the draft with. So let's go ahead and take that here. Alright, now that is a Seed Ship Impact, and that is a pretty good card. And perhaps that's a sign that that's a color we need to be, noting that this is a pack that doesn't have a single good black or red card, and the best card in this pack is actually Seed Ship Impact, Mechanozoa also being the other consideration, so let's take the Seed Ship Impact here and just kind of figure out what our colors need to be. Alright, pack 1, pick 6. There's Beamsaw Prospector as an okay 2-drop, Susurian Dirgecraft, which is just not a creature that I'm a big fan of, and Territorial Bruntar. So I think for me, it's between the Prospector and the Bruntar. And I'm going to go ahead and take the Bruntar here. Black doesn't necessarily seem super open, so I can definitely see a world where I'm maybe potentially even a red-green lander deck, but I think Bruntar is a really solid late-game win condition, so let's go ahead and take that here for our deck. Another Seed Ship Impact. I don't know what my thoughts are on playing multiple copies of this card, but, it's winning at a pretty high rate right now, and so, I'm going to try it out. Although right now we're just on all creatures and like all removal spells. So we'll see how this plays out. Pack 1, pick 8. That's a late rescue skiff, but not really interested in that here. I'm basically either considering a Sammy's Calamity or a Nutrient Block. And given my mana situation, I think I'm going to go with the Curiosity here and see if we can cook a little bit. Although I will say, man, we are super heavy on spells and just like has no creatures. That is a late focus fighter, which is one of White's better commons. But man, I just think it's a little bit too late for us to just like make a pivot to White because of this. So I'll take a Sky Stinger just as a, you know, a card that can fill the curve if we absolutely need. Hey, I don't mind Germinating Worm as another random large creature. And yeah, I mean, we're just filling out our deck with filler level cards and seeing where this takes us. Not the most exciting pack, but you know, honestly, looking at the packs, there's just not too many other things I saw there. Now, like I said, the Mutinous Massacre was definitely a risky pick. I could have absolutely have taken a Dauntless Scrapbot or a Terrapact Intimidator. And yeah, it's possible it would have been better here. It's definitely possible, but you know what? You can't fault me for trying to want to play with a really sweet card like Mutinous Massacre. All right. Moving on to Pack 2, Pick 1. Okay, well, this one's really easy. Nova Hellkite, one of the best rares in the format. Eumidian Terrabotanist, Melded Moxite, Thawbringer would all be fine options. If I table any one of those, I would be totally fine with that. But obviously very, very happy picking up Nova Hellkite. Certainly need to be mindful of our mana curve here. Alrighty. Pack 2, Pick 2 gives us some interesting options. Now, our removal suite is actually not insane, but I have the choice between Gene Pollinator and Orbital Plunge. This gives us the fixing that we need. I'm going to take the cheaper card. I think the Plunge is also very, very good, but I just need to take some cheap creatures, and this can also potentially help me splash the Mutinous Massacre if that's a direction that I want to head. So let's take that here. I mean, I do have a Gravkill, Double Seed Chimp Impact, and potentially Mutinous Massacre as well. Now I'll take a Close Encounter, although noting that we do need more creatures to make this work. But this makes my decision on taking the Gene Pollinator. I'm a little bit happier about that. Hopefully we just kill 2-mana artifacts and just get a lander every time off of this. Okay. Ooh, Mutinous Massacre. Okay. Here there is a Diplomatic Relations, an Uthro Scan Ship if I wanted to splash that, and a Tapestry Warden. The problem here is I just have too many like removal effects, but like I'm not saying they're bad. It's just I feel like I'm kind of overdoing it here in interaction. But I kind of want to see good creatures. Like Debris Bombard is like kind of mediocre. There's another Seed Chip Impact and a Drix Fate Maker. You know what? I'm going to push it. I want to see what happens if I play triple Seed Chip Impact. Here, I'll take Thawbringer. They better play artifacts and enchantments. That's all I'm going to say. Look, the thing is, even when you kill a lander with this thing, it's really good. So, look, I mean, these are the types of experiments that you should try to run and see what happens. All right, Tanic is obviously very good. Ice Cape Crasher and Tenderfoot's fine too. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Yeah, I basically, like, the rest of my deck more or less has to be creatures, I think. But, like, decent creatures, like, not Caveron Turbo Drone. Alright, I'll take a Thawbringer over Melded Moxite. I mean, worst case scenario, like, I don't necessarily even have to splash. But we'll see where this goes. I don't really think this is a nutrient block deck. Broodguard Elite's also kind of like a maybe card. I can certainly also see myself cutting Seed Chip Impact. The things that I need to focus on now are just, you know, like I said it before, is just like more creatures for the curve, right? If I see Intrepid Tenderfoots, if I see Blooming Stingers, Pinnacle Kill Ships, cards of that nature. Like, I'm not sure how much I'm supposed to lean on Sea Chip Impact as a black source of mana. Alright, Tapestry Warden is fine. Certainly better than Broodguard Elite. Let's move on. Alright, Genemorph Imago. Imago? I don't know. This card is super duper strong. I'm wondering if I should also try to splash this card and go super greedy. Alternatively, I don't know that I need an Orbital Plunge here with all the interaction that I have. There's also a Fungal Colossus, but first picking a Fungal Colossus feels so bad. Alright, let's take the Imago. And yeah, I mean, now, we are looking at trying to play all of the colors here and trying to figure out what we need to do. So, All Fate Scroll probably coming back in. Here, there is like nothing I want that's red or green. There is a Faller's Faithful that I can certainly splash. Now, this card's like, I like this more if I can actually target my own things, but I don't really have good things to target of my own. But there's just like nothing else in this pack. Alright, I'll take the Faller's Faithful. Not sure I'm going to play that one. Pack 3, pick 3. Another Halia. There's a Sunstar Chaplain. Certainly seeing some white cards here now, but it's far too late for that. I'm just going to eat my vegetables here and take another Thawbringer for the curve. Alright, I do like Harmonious Grovestrider. Really good top-end creature. Certainly there's a Pinnacle Kill Ship, but I think I just need more bodies. So let's go ahead and take the Grovestrider here. I just need some beef. Still could use some more 2-drops here, for sure. Oh, Galactic Wayfarer, that's incredible. Seeing that pack 1, pick 5 is kind of crazy. One of the best commons in the entire format. So at least we are good on our 3-mana plays here, which I like. This does not feel like a good Faller's Faithful deck. Like I said, I like it more if I have like Virus Beetles and random creatures to block with. I don't like it as much here. Here we have Frenzied Baloth, Orbital Plunge. Like I said, I'm not putting a high priority on removal. I'm just going to take the 2-drop, even though it's kind of hard to cast. Like, I can just occasionally play this on 2. And like I said, just really, really important to just find enough creatures to play on curve in this deck. For example, the Imago is like a 4-drop in this type of deck. Here we'll take another Tanic. We certainly don't need a red-white land here. And I don't really care too much about Plasma Bolt. Oh, perfect! Eumidian Terrabotanist. That's exactly the type of creature that we wanted here. We only have 2-2-mana plays, but, you know, certainly going to play both. Here, there's a Drix Fatemaker. Not really interested in splashing the Sammy. This one, maybe I don't play, we'll see. Shattered Wings. I mean, I have triple Sea Chip Impact. And I don't think I'm going to play double Sammy's Curiosity. I mean, if it was best of 3, I would take the Shattered Wings. I'd just take the Sammy's Curiosity. Wow, Perigee Beckoner with 3 cards left is nuts. And all the Sammy's Curiosities in the world. I'm not even sure I want to play any of them, to be honest. Alright, well, this is going to be an interesting build. It's like, how much do I want to stretch my mana is basically more or less the question here. Do I want to stretch my mana to the point where I need to play like 2 Swamps and try to get Mutinous Massacre in here? Or do I want to be more conservative and just because I don't have enough ways to make landers, maybe I should just avoid that altogether? Because like, what happens if I just do something like that? This looks like it's more of like a red-green beatdown deck, splashing the Genemorph Imago. A little bit light on interaction. But it looks okay, honestly. Like, our creature count's actually pretty high. It's 17. So that is not bad at all. We have Close Encounters, double Diplomatic Relations. And then, by playing just like a straight 2-color deck with, you know, a Gene Pollinator, presumably some of these Sea Chip impacts will get me what I need, and a Galactic Wayfarer, like, I only really need to play 1 island. And I can play 9 forests, 7 mountains, something along those lines. Honestly, 10 Forest might be correct here. Just because I have Gene Pollinator and a Frenzied Baloth. I mean, alternatively, I can just play... So the other alternative is to play those, but then, like, then I have to go a little bit deeper with my mana. This definitely feels a lot more fun to do. Now, how good it is a question that we can answer maybe. The thing is, like, red isn't even that... Like, if I cut the Melded Moxite, I can do something like this. Cut, like, the creatures I don't love. So this gives me 2 black, 3 black, 4 black, 5 black, 5 black sources, and potentially Seed Chip Impact. This gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 removal spells. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red cards and 2 black cards. I mean, again, like the mana is just like not perfect at all. And I'm just wondering how even like how good this card is. If you can't play it on turn 2, it still seems pretty good. Just making something into a 6/6 flyer seems great. Or making this into a 6/6 flyer rather. All right. Well, I still need to just figure out my mana here. I feel like I probably should play 1 Sammy's Curiosity at least. Just because of the mana constraints of my deck. I know that you can overdo it on effects like this, so I'm also trying to be mindful of that as well. Then I think I can cut Tapestry. I think in general, I like Thawbringer better than Tapestry Warden. And so I think I'm going to cut that. I don't even have that many good, like... I guess I have like 2 things that have... Oh no, 4 things. Actually, maybe the Tapestry Warden's fine. 1, 2, like, it's good with Tannock. It's good with Humidity Terrabotanist and Gene Pollinator. And if I play a Sammy's Curiosity, maybe I go 16 lands. 16 lands, Gene Pollinator, Sammy's Curiosity. And obviously, I really have to hope the Seed Chip Impacts get there. I mean, honestly, 3 is probably too many. And the correct thing to do here probably is to cut 1. Yeah. I think, like, there's just going to be matchups where it's just not that good. Like, imagine, like, this gets played, imagine, like, I'm playing against myself. And it's just, like, there's just not that many good targets, right? So, drawing multiple, like, drawing the first copy, you're usually going to find something. But drawing multiples of this is probably not ideal. All right, let's give this a whirl. This one's a little bit of a wild concoction. I'm just trying to play all of my good cards and hoping to get there. We'll see how this goes. All right, now before round 1 starts, just wanted to say that if you've been enjoying this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Big shout out to all the patrons. Thank you so much for all your support. Access to my Patreon gives you access to my Discord channel, which I believe is a really great way to join an awesome community of folks also looking to up their limited game. I guess I could have used some of those orbital plunges, huh? Now let's gain some life. Yeah, this is a highly suspect deck here, folks. Do not try this at home. You know, honestly, I should probably play like 2... Maybe I should play 2 Sammy's Curiosities and cut 1 more card. I'm going to hold on to this for now. Okay. We just don't have anything to play? This is crazy. Huh. Alright, fine. I was hoping they would play like a Graph Pack Monoist there. Sure. The reason why I played it there is like if I didn't have another play, like if I had another play I would play it. Somehow they have a Beamsaw Prospector now. It's just ridiculous. But look at her hand! Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay. We need a second Sammy's Curiosity for sure. Oh gosh, this is a disaster. Alright, let's play the Grove Strider as it's got Ward 2. Like, we're just not even close to casting our spells. Perhaps the Black Splash is just, like, completely unnecessary. I just wanted to commit to the Mutinous Massacre, you know what I mean? But this is literally what I was talking about, like drawing multiple of these. Look, if they have a Plasma Bolt here, sure. Okay, sure, Tragic Trajectory is also fine. So that's an odd card and an even card. They have 2 cards in hand. I think, given that I'm at 18, I should still just play Germinating Worm. Alright, so they're voiding out something, maybe? Roving Actuator. Oh, on Tragic Trajectory. That's insane. That is legitimately super strong. Okay. This is just crazy. Like, why am I trying to play this card? I have no idea. Okay. Comet Crawler, sure. Okay. Okay. Alright, you know what? I think this Black Splash was just a little bit too ambitious. And you know what? I'll be the first to admit it. We went a little bit too deep. We went a little bit too deep, alright? Let's draft responsibly. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just cut 2 creatures here. It's just a question of which ones. I think I'll cut the Sky Stingers, because I have a bunch of 3-drops already. And just, these give me a few more things to do in the late game. And go with something like this. And like I said, this doesn't really need Sammy's Curiosity. And yeah, try to be a little more... I suppose I could even splash Lost in Space if I really wanted to. Just due to sheer lack of, like, good interaction. But of course, that's a splash card. No, I actually don't mind that. Let's just do this. And then we'll just cut... We'll just cut one of these 2 cards, I think. Think I will play these just have way better stats, and I feel like my deck's the type of deck that's going to fall behind. So yeah, why don't we try something like that? Alright. Let's see if these fixes make this deck a little more streamlined. Also, the extra island just gives us a much higher chance of being able to play turn 2 the Xenomorph Imago, just for good beats. Alright, opponent on the play here. Well, you know what? That is, of course, the risk you take for playing 2 islands. But we drew the mountain right away. Alright, so that's great. That is excellent. Opponent leading with Island, Swamp, and Mechan Shieldmate. Okay. Gonna just kill that thing right away. Into Codecracker Hound. I assume this is warped. One doesn't just cast Codecracker Hound. Next turn we can go Tannock into, hopefully, like, you know, we can sack the lander for extra value there. But if, you know, if not, then obviously they're just going to kill the Tannock. I mean, alternatively, I can, like, wait and just play Galactic Wayfarer instead. No, it's fine. It's, look, if they kill the Tannock, they kill the Tannock. It's not that big of a deal, honestly. Codecracker Hound, okay. They could have Embraced Oblivion here, given how they tapped. Okay, nothing. Alright, so why don't we go Eumidian Terrabotanist. Play a land. Attack. Okay, and then let's go get a forest. And boom! Draw a card, ping our opponent. Very, very solid start here for us. And plenty of action in our hand as well, which I like. Depressurize, okay. And you know what? They have a nice Dimir control shell as well, right? They absolutely do. Cryogen Relic is the play, sure. Oh, and they have an Embrace Oblivion. Nope, nope, they don't. Okay. It feels like they have it, though, right? Doesn't it? Doesn't it feel like they have an Embrace Oblivion? So I feel like I'm going to hold off on the Grove Strider for now. Let's just try to maximize on some damage here. And get, you know, as much value as I can from the Fate Makers and everything else. So now I have a pair of 3-power creatures in play. If they want to use Embrace Oblivion on the Terrabotanist, sure. Like, obviously that is a good line for them as well. Not saying that it's bad by any means. But I want to do this, like, nice balance of playing to the board. Void Forge Titan. Okay. I mean, I'm like, what? Wow. So they just don't have it? Okay. They have 1 black mana, so I don't think they can do anything for 1 black. Alright, they're at 6 life. I suppose they could have been like sandbagging a Wrath here. Nope, that is a Mouth of the Storm. Okay. And what do we want to do now? I think it's just Grove Strider. Play a land. And pass. Actually, I'm just going to crack this now. Now, I do have Geomorph Imago, so maybe I should have held on to the lander. I just kind of wanted all my mana available to me. Alright, Graveblade Heavy and Timeline Color. Okay. What do I want to do? I suppose probably start things off with a Melded Moxite here. Okay, we drew a land and a Frenzied Baloth. They're at 6 life. So, let's see. This doesn't have trample. This does not have trample either. So if I bounce the Mouth of the Storm, the problem is they like shrink all my things. You know what I mean? If I bounce Mouth of the Storm, this gets blocked here. This gets blocked here. This gets blocked here, and they take 5. Sure. Definitely don't want the land. Yep. So they go to 1 life. So they can't warp the Timeline Color. And I have Frenzied Baloth off the top. And they're at 1 life. so that gets it done, right? Because they're going to play Mouth of the Storm here. And this is a 1-power creature, and then I go Frenzied Baloth for the win. Woo! Close one. I mean, they had a lot of solid control cards. Mouth of the Storm is a really good reset button. And I'm really glad that I played the Lost in Space just because it did feel like my deck was just a little bit light on interaction. So given that I'm already splashing the blue, I think it's okay, given enough mana fixers, to play a Lost in Space. And it paid off there. Alrighty, on the play here, we got a Gene Pollinator. Absolutely keeping that. Yeah, I guess I could have taken like Orbital Plunge, but I feel like I was taking a creature every time I had that as an option. Alright, here we'll play Frenzied Baloth. Pretty aggressive little hand here. Seed Ship Impact on Gene Pollinator. I'm not going to lie to you folks, I'm sad. Okay, if it's a land, I don't want it. Even island. Like, if I had a blue card, obviously, but I do have a second island in my deck, so that's good. The worst thing here would be if I just drew another island, I guess. Let's maximize our pressure. Diplomatic Relations was certainly a good draw there. Really? This is it? Forest, Mountain, Swamp, Island is the draw here? Huh. Okay. Let's attack. They're gonna block. Holy cow, they didn't block. This is the greediest thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, they might have some kind of sweeper or something, I guess. Some kind of like Pyroclasm effect. I don't know. Intrepid Tenderfoot. Like, why would you not block there? You're at 8 life. I guess it keeps the Baloth back. Okay. Maybe they have a Melt Strider's Resolve. That would actually answer it. Nope. Okay. This is really tricky. Like, I can either play Tanic or Bruntar here, and there's good arguments for either. Alright, I'm going to attack with this and get a Surveil, and that'll give me more information. Another Thawbringer. I'm just going to play the 6/6 here. The reason being is next turn I can just play both of these creatures and overwhelming my opponent with just a... Like, this is just a lethal threat, right, by itself, so that certainly seems good enough. Kav Landseeker is the play from the opponent. One card in hand, and that is a Cryo Shatter. Okay? Sure. I don't think they're going to attack me. That seems kind of crazy. Alright, so why don't we play Thawbringer? Now I kind of want to land, right? That's a Seed Ship Impact. Oh, on Cryo Shatter? Yes, please. Alright, now we'll just wait. We'll just chill. Intrepid Tenderfoot, put some counters. So let's see, they block my 3 biggest creatures and die, right? So that's the nice thing about this, it kills enchantments as well. That should be game. Let's crack the lander here, just for extra value. Let's get the island. See if we hit something. Tapestry Warden, okay. They gotta be dead here. They gotta be dead. A little too much mana. I mean, they certainly had some decent stuff, but we didn't get to see the top end part of their deck, and so gonna come out on top here. Alright. Just enough beats to get it done. Seed Chip Impact for the win. Alright. What are we, 2-1? We started out with a, you know, off on the wrong foot with a loss, but, you know, won 2 in a row. So, hope to win 5 more in a row. Why don't we just do that? 3 mountains, a bunch of green cards. Got a mulligan that. We will keep this hand. What do I want to bottom? I think it's the relations. Like, I like the idea of being able to go turn 2 Imago into turn 3 Tapestry Warden. That seems extremely strong. So, I'm gonna go with that. Alright, red-white into Ore Plate Pangolin. Sure. So now we go... I guess this can't really attack, but I can hit with this. Let's go 3 in the air. And play Tanic. Next turn I can go land Tapestry Warden. I guess turning something into a 3-3 now isn't particularly strong, but... let's see what they do. Alright, Geomorph down. Okay, so now Tapestry Warden comes down. And... I can still attack. Happy trading Gene Pollinator for an Ore Plate Pangolin, so... yeah, I mean, the super greedy thing would have been to put land on the bottom. Over Diplomatic Relations, but, I mean, look, this was a really solid curve, right? It's just like, I have to hope they don't have a removal spell here for the Tapestry Warden. Alright, oh, they're gonna play that Knight thing on Ore Plate Pangolin. They don't have another 1-drop, do they? Okay, no, they just made a 3-3. Okay, this... if I draw like an interactive spell here, it would be so big. We did not draw an interactive spell, so it was not, in fact, very big at all. I need some Seed Chip Impact. Oh, Seed Chip Impact here would be so good. But yeah, we don't really have great attacks. Like, I don't really want to trade Tanic for an Ore Plate Pangolin here. So we just have to wait. Like, any kind of combat trick or fight spell would have been backbreaking there, but we missed. I'm going to hold this land in case I find something that can generate a lander, so that I can draw a card with the Tanic potentially. So that's going to be my plan with this mountain. But yeah, even like Lost in Space would have been good. Territorial Bruntar, Seed Chip Impact, lots of really good draws. I mean, their deck looks good too. It's just like Boros Control. But we're just drawing lands here. Not ideal. I mean, maybe the Tanic just goes all the way. It's unlikely, but maybe. They have a Halia and 2 cards. That's a Caveron Turbo Drone. So, again, this Pangolin is getting out of hand. This is like the best Pangolin deck ever. Hitting me for 4. Okay, I guess we gotta take it. Alright, that is a Germinating Worm. Obviously gonna play that. Like I said, I'm gonna hold on to this land for now. And at least we have a 5/5 in play. Full control. They have Halia plus a card. They can sack a treasure for... or a lander for a card as well. And Rust Harvester. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. This is a really sweet, like, kind of artifact deck they have going here. Alright, let's keep our life total reasonably high. And we drew a Melded Moxite. Oh, that's another reason to keep the land, I suppose. Let's play Melded Moxite. Need to find some action here. Lost in Space and Diplomatic Relations. I mean, I certainly need to kill the Rust Harvester, right? Like, they have an artifact in their graveyard, and they can just start, like, eating things. And I need to do it before they can do this, so... And I have the Lost in Space for the Pangolin. And, you know, given that it's a 4/4, so I think that's also going to be good for us. That's a good Melded Moxite. Oof, molecular modifier. The hits do not stop. Okay, we're taking 9 damage here. Ouch. Alright, we drew another land, which is not good. Gonna hold on to it. So I do have the ability to tap the Melded Moxite for mana, cast Lost in Space, and still make a 2/2. They're like constantly drawing action. It's kind of tough. I mean, honestly, it's like they're just playing like red control artifact cards, and then just like there's a Halia. That's all we've seen so far. Melded Moxite goes to their graveyard. Jeez. Okay. Thawbringer is not good enough here, I don't think. I'll take 5. I don't love it. But... Wow, Secluded Starforge as well? Oh my gosh. Their deck is nice. I mean, they're literally just a red artifact deck. That's all they are. Right, so we got Close Encounter here. So they're sacking a land to draw a card. They're probably going to go to the skies. And I need an answer for the flyer. So as much as I want to kill Molecular Modifier, like I feel like I have to kill the Wormwall Sweeper. Alright, I think we're just dead with this Bombard. Okay, fair enough. I mean, look, they actually had just like... a very, like, it doesn't even look like necessarily their deck was super strong, but it was just, like, highly synergistic, and that land was very good, so. Good on our opponent. We are 2-2. Alright, on the play this time. Ooh, this hand is much better. This is the classic, I hope you play an artifact. We got the Seed Chip Impact here. Alright, there's a Tannock. We're going to play a Terra Botanist here. Smack for 1. Land would be very nice for us next turn. Or plate Pangolin. Okay, land. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Yes, 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 yes. The world is my oyster. What would I like to do? I guess I don't need to kill it just yet, right? Just hit them for 2? Which one of these do I want? Let's go for the high upside play. Like, yeah, I know this can die to Bombard, but like, the way that I look at this is if I draw a land, being able to go Galactic Wayfarer, pop Wayfarer, with Tanic in play just feels so strong. And my bodies, the bodies that I have also make it so that my opponent wants to just like play another artifact here and pump up the pangolin. And if they do that, then obviously we have the Seed Ship impact, right? Land? Oh, yes. Oh man, this is great. Let's kill you. Let's get a mountain, I suppose. I mean, I could have played a Wayfarer, but I just, like, if I have an opportunity to draw a card here and ramp and deal an extra point of damage, I totally should, right? And I have that ability once again next turn with Galactic Wayfarer, land, crack the Tanic, so. Okay, okay, that's a Mechan Assembler, sure. That did make things interesting here. So now it's like, am I supposed to play Germinating Worm, or am I still on the ramp plan here? I think I'm still on the ramp plan. Drew another card, drew another land, and then we'll warp this in. Alright. We have found 9 lands. We've drawn 2 cards off of the Tanic, which is obviously very good. And if they don't kill the Tanic, I mean, obviously we can just burn them out. But I imagine they're going to be really looking to play an artifact this turn. Alright, Momenon. This has to be an artifact. Yep. Oh, Caveron Harrier, okay. Wow, that's really strong. Okay. We have 2 main deck Seed Ship impacts. Come on. Yeah, I guess it is kind of interesting where they choose to put all these counters. Yeah, so a fight spell for the Mechan Assembler would be really big. They're not really in a position to attack me. Another land here would be awful. This is like the weekend, the event from the weekend all over again. What can you do? No attacks. Alright. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have lots of good draws. I suppose they can just attack me with the Caveron Harrier. I mean, I can just block with Germinating Worm. But by doing so, they get to make a 2/2, distribute 2 +1/+1 counters. Like, it's probably worth it to do it, honestly. Like, I think attacking with the Harrier gives you more value, right? You're basically trading your 2/1 and turning it into a 2/2 and 2 +1/+1 counters. Right? That is really strong. You're not gonna get much better value than that for the most part. So a little bit surprising that they chose not to attack. Oh, a second Tanic. I'm gonna hold these lands now, just because I have Melded Moxide in my deck, and I want to be able to like hold these for spells that give me landers and try to get value that way. Yeah, but like, I mean, we're in some serious trouble here. But maybe they're also flooded. It seems like that could be the case here. Tapestry Warden, okay. Okay, you know what? Maybe I play the land now, because I might want to play this land next turn. Like, I think I might be close to actually a lethal attack here next turn. Like, if I just decide to just send in with everything. that could potentially be quite strong. So land. Okay, so they're making the attack that I thought they were going to make like a long time ago. I'm going to actually block with the Tanic now, just because I have the backup one. All right. Diplomatic relations. They have 2 mana though, so that's what makes this like kind of awkward. Like if I attack with everything, I just feel like they have a lot of really good blocks. They can block like 5 things. This goes here. This goes here. This goes here. And the rest get chumped, I guess. Alright, let's make something happen. But I'm gonna make this really aggressive attack, but then like I'm gonna try to be the second person to flinch here and just see what they do. Like, I don't know that they're comfortable just like kind of blocking everything individually. Like, they're gonna lose something here. Okay. This is a lethal attack. Okay. This is still a lethal. Okay. All right. Okay. So this gets in for 3. And I lose... I don't lose all of my creatures. Okay, you know what? I didn't go for the relations, but that I had a reason for that. Now I'm going to play Tanic. And funny enough, I think I'm going to go for it second main phase here. Just because I feel like if they had some kind of removal spell, they would have gone for it. Alright, let's get them down to 2. I mean, that diplomatic relations was a really good draw. Whew. Got it. I think our opponent also got very, very flooded there. I just feel like if they found like a Cryogen Relic and just started looping things, or just got some more card flow going, I think I was just dead. But they did not, and we are 3-2 with our run-of-the-mill Gruul deck here. Let's keep it going. I'd like 4. 4 is always a good number, right? Alright, on the play here, anytime I get that Gene Pollinator in the opener, I'm always happier. So you know what? I'm happy about that pick. Let's take that, and then turn 2 we'll play Melded Moxite, and then figure out what we want to discard here. I'm not entirely sure. It's probably just Germinating Worm. Feels like having a piece of interaction here is not bad, right? What did they play? Stirring Wildwood and Lumbering Falls? What the hell? I think I'm just going to make a 2-2 here. Hope that they play a 1 toughness creature, but obviously that's super unlikely. Dockworker Drone, okay. Alright. Siege Ship Impact? Wow! What a draw. Okay. And let's hit for 3. And yeah, I'm just going to sack this. Sack this for a lander and then get Bruntar going. Starfield Vocalist. Okay. It's always scary. Might need to make adjustments here. So we have access to 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. Yeah, I kind of like just bouncing this then. Slowed him down. The problem is playing a Nova Hellkite just doesn't even get in for that much more damage, right? Like, it's just not... Like, my mana is just really weird. But I still feel like I want to do this. It just feels correct to me. Let's see what they do. They kept it on top, and I'll certainly keep Grove Strider on top. Whatever. Get in for an extra point of damage. Alright, Starfield Vocalist. 7 mana. See, if they play like an Oblivion Ring here or something, it's just so bad for me. Like, I'm almost considering just playing this because it's got a ward. Like, it's less mana efficient, but I just think it makes it more difficult for my opponent. Given that my creature has ward and, like, they're probably trying to do something with the Vocalist. Oh well. Okay. So they stole the Harmonious Grove Strider. They have 3 cards. Basically, I think the Bruntar has more value for me if this game goes a little bit longer. Okay, Specimen Freighter. I guess they get to bounce everything? Sure. Okay. That's a 4/7. Holy. They have 2 cards in hand. Okay, so I have to play this land. I mean, hitting them for 5 doesn't seem bad. I mean, there's just like a lot of good plays here. I can just play like if I was going to play a land, I should play the Terrabotanist first. I can also just play Terrabotanist plus Nova Hellkite. Or I can play Tapestry Warden and warp this in. Alright, well, this puts my opponent to 2 life. The nice thing about this is that now Tanuk becomes like a real way to potentially kill my opponent, right? And here they have to defensively pump up the Specimen Freighter. Turning it into what? A 4/7? Oh, and speaking of Tannock. So now they're keeping up a bunch of mana and they didn't station this, right? So it's like playing the Hellkite actually just doesn't seem particularly strong here. Huh. Now I feel like I actually value the Flyer more because they're at 2 life. So let's get the Bruntar, see if they use some kind of removal spell. I'm just going to pass here and let them use whatever 2 mana that they have. The Pollinator gives me access to 8 mana next turn, which is quite valuable. And that is a Lost in Space, which will definitely keep on top. They did not want... So I could attack with this and trade with the Vocalist. I actually think that's worth. Like, the Vocalist is very terrifying, right? Like, that's a card where you're just like, oh, well, there's just so many different ways things can go wrong with a Vocalist in play. So getting that trade in at that moment, I think, is not bad for me. What? Oh, sure. Yeah. That makes sense. Alright, no attacks from the opponent. I will play Bruntar. And I will play a Terrabotanist. Wait, I should have done it the other way. No, I had a reason for this. The reason why I did it this way is if they have Divert Disaster, I don't get countered. And I'm at 20 lives, so it's not too bad. Pinnacle Killship. Oh, very nice. Okay. Wait, they're just... If they crew up the Killship, they're dead. They're literally just dead if they do this. Right? Like, I just played my Haster. Okay, well... I'll take it. I'll take it. Alright, well... Got that one down, and, you know, a little bit of a rocky start because we try to play a literally unplayable deck. And now we have, like, an okay playable deck. It all revolves around being able to play that Gene Pollinator turn 1. I only have one of them, but it has been very key in just letting us cast our spells and occasionally ramp us to where we need to go. So, yeah, I definitely need to be respecting it higher, and it's been amazing for us. Alrighty, on the play here with a Lone Island. This might be the end here, folks. I'm gonna mulligan that. I'm gonna keep this. Been one of the Thawbringers here because I have a pair of 2/3 drops already. Our hand is certainly fine. Green white. Edge Rover. Okay, well that makes our turn 3 play very easy. Can play the Galactic Wayfarer over the Thawbringer here. Sunstar Expansionist on the draw after your opponent mulligans. How do I feel about that? Not good. I don't think they're going to block. I don't think they can really afford the block, so. Okay. I will take the 2-for-1 there. I mean, maybe they needed the lander, but like, obviously I also get a lander, so it doesn't really hurt me that much. Alright, Dual Sun Adepts is the play from the opponent. I am happy to trade that with either of my cards. Oh, I'm stupid. I almost don't want to cast it because I'm embarrassed. I missed out on a point of damage. Alright. Harmonious Ghostwriter. Okay. Well, I don't think... I can't do anything to that anyways. Don't really want to land. I guess I'll take a Harmonious Ghostwriter here. Alright, so they certainly stabilize with that Ghostwriter, although noting that next turn, I can kill the oh no wait, what am I saying? This Ghostwriter is gigantic. I cannot kill this Ghostwriter. But if they attack me, I can certainly just hit them back for a ton. That is such an aggressive attack. Oh, double strike? Wow! I just took 14 damage. They said good game. How? Wait, what just happened? I'm trying to figure out, like, what happened here. So this thing has vigilance too, right? They're at 15. I want more toughness in play, so these all hit hard though. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 17. Is that lethal? 4, 5, 6, 10, 13. Okay. What was that? Alright, good game. Did they think it got triple strike? Like, I don't understand that attack. Was it 20 life? Okay, well, you know what? We're now at 5-2. Right? I think we were like 1-2 to start, so this is obviously a very, very nice little comeback here with some good mulligans and some decent draws. Now, we're playing with house money. Alright, opponent on the play here, we have one of each land. If they play an artifact, obviously that's going to be good for us. Oh, they sure did. They sure did. And we have lots of good options here. We have a Frenzied Baloth on turn 2, but also Seed Ship Impact. Mechan Navigator. Whew. That is a strong one. So the question now becomes, which one do I kill? It doesn't target itself, right? It becomes a 4/4 Flying Vigilance. I'm gonna kill the Navigator. I feel like the lab shit doesn't do that much. It's only like really solid on offense. I can always bounce it if it gets too big. Dude, this card Ilvoy Light. I mean, this is like obviously fantastic. This looks like a fantastic deck. I mean, we're playing against rank 56 players, so not surprising that we're playing against a very solid deck here. Tanic is the play from us, and we have the ability to go land, sack land, draw a card, and play Frenzied Baloth. Or, oh god, that's such an annoying one for them to steal. So life totals are 20 apiece. I think I'm going to play Baloth. Smack. Pass. Like, I just want to sack the lander here. I think that'll just buy me a lot of flexibility here. Dauntless Scrapbot. Okay. Alright. I will potentially take 6 damage. We'll see. Okay. Oh, it's got Vigilance. Alright. Let's sack this for a red source. Their deck looks fantastic, by the way. Alright, and then we drew a land. So, they have 3 cards. I want to also... I mean, I can play Bruntar. Although that just seems like the most risky of the options that are available. You know what? I'm just gonna kill this thing. Feel like that's gonna be find itself to be or make its way into being a very, very problematic card. Oh yeah, Tannock. Mechanizoa. Oof! Alright. Alright, good tempo play there from the opponent. They get to cast it next turn too, so it's like playing the Bruntar here just does not feel great anymore. 3, 4, 5. That's assuming they have a land. I guess I can hope they don't have a land. Alright, we're mega super duper dead. Alright, well, you know what? Look, getting paired against a rank 56 player with what seems to be an extremely, like, decks like this are just rare. Like, it's really hard to put together, like, a deck like this. And so, props to them. Really solid shell that they have. Let's make a 5/4, I guess. There's a land. I'm at 1. They have a lander. Alright. Good game. Yeah. Just a really rock-solid deck. And honestly, you know, I feel like my deck kind of overperformed anyways. And based on our start, like, I'm pretty happy with the result, honestly. Just getting to 5 wins with this deck, which, you know, certainly had its fair share of flaws. Just taking a look at the sideboard here, like, you know, we had to speculate on some of these removal spells just because I didn't see enough good, like, red and green cards. But, you know, when I open a Nova Hellkite in pack 2 and I pick up some Tannocks, like, I'm gonna try to be Gruul. And despite the fact that you don't see very many red cards here, I did see a lot of red cards. Like, I saw Plasma Bolt, I saw Orbital Plunges, like, I saw a lot of good red cards that I would have liked. It's just I ended up just taking green cards instead. So I feel like as far as where we were supposed to be in terms of our lane, I think this was a totally fine spot to be. I mean, we started out with a first pick Grav Kill into a Mutinous Massacre, and then kind of moved off the Massacre, and just noticed that we just got a gazillion green cards, right? And so I think this was one of the options available to us. Green definitely was one of the colors to be. And all in all, we had a solid and functional deck, but certainly not an absolutely busted one. But like I said, getting a good busted deck in this format is just tough. It's rare. And so, you know, a good, solid, functional deck for the most part is what you can ask for. Honestly, having 23 cards you're happy playing sometimes is tough to pull off in this format. And by sometimes, I mean, I think it happens like 25% of the time. Like, where your 23rd card, you're like, oh, I never played this one before, but gotta do it because the packs were terrible, right? And that seems to be the case more often than not. But you know what? We still managed to do our best with what we were given. I will say Siege Ship Impact was great. 3 is probably too many. 2 is probably the cap. although you should still take them highly, even the third one, because it's an excellent sideboard card in a best of 3 setting. Sadly, we weren't able to pull off the Mutinous Massacre Dream. Now, should I have still taken this pick too? I think so. I think this card is powerful enough. Like, this thing just wins the game a lot of the time when you cast it, where I think it's probably the pick, right? Like, I first picked the Gravkill, and then I had the choice between Mutinous Massacre, the 3-mana 3-1 that gets me a lander, or Terrapact Intimidator. Like, clearly the safest pick is the 3-mana 3-1 artifact creature. Maybe that was the pick, but look, I'm here to entertain. And I tried, but we just didn't quite have the fixing for it, and it is what it is. But you know what? Still got the 5 wins. Got our gems back. Made a little bit of headway with the rank, and we will continue our climb towards our mythic rankings. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, as I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. If you've enjoyed this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That is patreon.com/paulcheon. Big shout out to all the patrons. Also go to TCGplayer.com for all your Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. You want to buy some booster boxes or some singles? TCGplayer.com is the place to go. Make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Last but not least, check out heavyplay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. If you want top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmat sleeves, dice boxes, life pads, and more, they've got all that good stuff to make sure you're ready to go for your next tabletop gaming experience. heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.